Hello students and welcome to Conversation Club Online. So today the topic we're going to discuss is success and fame. So, what is success? The official definition of success is the accomplishment of an aim or a purpose. So, success is when you accomplish your goals. But everybody has their own definition for success. What does success mean to you? For everyone, it can mean something different. So I want you to take a minute and think about, what does success mean for you? How would you define the word success? And when would you consider yourself successful? So take 1 minute and then you can come back. All right, so here are some of the most common reasons why people think they are successful, or how people define success for themselves. So maybe you said success is having money or being rich. Also, success could be being famous, or success could just be being happy. Maybe you don't think being rich is successful. Maybe you think being happy is successful. Also, some people could say, like, having a family, a loving family, or a supportive family, that could be one form of success. Also, winning a contest. Maybe you're an athlete or a sportsman and you win a match or a tournament. That could be your definition of success. Maybe that's your goal. Your goal is to win like a big contest, like maybe go to the Olympics and get a medal. That could be your main definition of success. And also being a professional athlete. Maybe you're a basketball player and you want to be in the NBA, like play on like the Lakers or some NBA team. That could be your definition of success. And also, of course, having power. For a lot of people, having power is successful. Maybe you want to be the boss at your work, or you want to be a politician or something like that, and have power and be able to influence people. That's another definition of success. Also, having lots of friends. Maybe if you have lots of friends and a lot of people who are close to you, and you're happy about the people around you, that could be success also. And also another thing that you could consider successful is having everybody like you. Maybe maybe you care a lot what people think about you. So for your definition of success is to have everyone like you. So, is there anything that you thought of that's different from this list? Because there's probably endless definitions of what is success, and everybody has their own opinion. All right, so now we're going to look at some quotes about success. So I want you to take a few minutes and read through these quotes and try to see which quote is closest to your personal definition of the word success. Because everybody thinks a little bit differently about this word. So go ahead and take a few minutes, read through these, and see which one is your favorite, which ones you like, which ones you don't like, and which ones are most are closest to you. Which one do you have the most personal connection with? And then when you're finished, you can come back and we'll talk about some of them. All right, so let's talk about some of these quotes. Let's look at the first one, and these quotes are all by successful people. So the first one: success is a journey, not a destination. So basically, this person is saying that you're never gonna reach a point where you're successful you're always going to be working to be more successful, if you understand what I mean. There's always room to improve. There's always something more you can gain, and you're always going to be on the road of success. Like you saw on the previous slide, it was the word success in the road, and it was like an arrow pointing forward. So this is like that. Success is a journey, not a destination. So once you reach your goal, there's always another goal that you want to reach next. So it's like you're always working. All right, the next definition. All of us are born for a reason, but all of us don't discover why. Success in life has nothing to do with what you gain in life or accomplish for yourself. It's what you do for others. So this person is saying that success isn't about what you gain for yourself. It's about how you impact others. So maybe your definition of success is that you want to be inspirational for other people or motivational to others rather than gaining something for yourself. Okay, now let's look at the third definition, the third quote about success. So, success does not consist of never making mistakes, but in never making the same one a second time. So what does this mean? This means that even if you fail with something in your life, it doesn't necessarily mean a failure. It just means it's a mistake that you can learn from, and that way you won't make the same mistake a second time. So maybe your definition of success is learning from your mistakes, and therefore in the future you'll be more successful with everything else. All right, and then the next quote is, a strong, positive self-image is the best possible preparation for success. So what does this quote mean? This quote means that if you look at yourself in a positive light, if you're happy about yourself, if you have self-confidence, and if you're always thankful for how you are as a person, then that is the best way to be prepared to be successful. Because if you don't have self-confidence, how can you be successful? You need to always do your best and always be proud of yourself in order to be successful. All right, and then the next definition, or the next quote is, failure is success if we learn from it. So we kind of already covered this one. If you make a mistake and you learn from it, then that means it was a success, not a mistake. So the next time you won't make the same mistake and you'll be a better person. And the last quote, true success is overcoming the fear of being unsuccessful. So this is pretty interesting. So if you're scared that you're going to fail, then you're not really going to be successful. You have to be willing to take a risk. You have to be willing to put everything on the line, because if you don't take a risk, then how will you be successful? So this guy is basically saying that don't be scared of failure. You just have to try your best and take some risks, and if you do that, then you'll gain true success. So what do you think about that? Do any of these quotes fit your personal definition of success? Or maybe one of these quotes help change your mind about what you think is success. So you can take a minute and read over them again and see what you think. All right, so this is the next activity we're going to do. Which situation is a true example of success? So here there are 5 different situations about 5 different people, and each one of them has a different problem or a different thing that they've done in their life. and each one of these people thinks that they are successful. So I want you all to pause the video and read through all 5 of these and tell me and come to your conclusion and write it down or say it out loud about who is the most successful person, which of these people is an example of true success, and why are they more successful than the other people. So this might take you like maybe 10 minutes, so you can pause the video, you can go through these. If you need to translate it, you can translate it, and think about your own answer. Which situation is a true example of success? All right, so so welcome back. I'll tell you my opinion. I think the second one is a true example of success. A boy loses his leg in a road accident. He goes back to school and passes his exams the same year. Why do I think this is a true example of success? Well, because this boy was put in a horrible situation, right? He lost his leg, so that means he can't walk normally. He probably is in a wheelchair. He's probably traumatized, and he won't be able to participate in normal things for the rest of his life. But despite this, he goes back to school and passes his exams in the same year of his road accident. So I know this guy is motivated. He's not going to let the tests of life hold him back, and I think he's going to be successful in the rest of his life. Why do I think he's more successful than the rest of these people, even though the rest of these people have done some really great things? Well, the first guy, yeah, he made a great business, but how, in my opinion, I don't think he's successful because he's not a good family person. He lost his family because he wanted to make a lot of money. In my opinion, I don't think that's very successful. The third person, Olympic gold athlete, I don't really see how he can be successful if he was taking drugs to be better at his sport. That doesn't really count as success for me. The fourth one, students pass their exams easily, but the teacher gave them the answers on the test. Like, yeah, they passed. Of course, they passed the test, but that's not really successful if someone tells you all the answers. So they didn't really do anything themselves. And then the last one, I think this guy is successful, but I think he's doubting himself too much. He's scared that his discovery is meaningless, and I think he would be successful if he was more self-confident in himself. So that's my opinion about these. What about you? Alright, so the next activity we have is a role play activity. There's going to be 4 different texts, and you can choose one, or you can choose all of them. And I want you to read through it and then have an explanation about why this person is successful. So again, I want you to choose one of the texts. There's going to be 4, and you're going to read it to yourself, and you're going to explain why they are successful. So you can do one, or you can do all of them, or as many as you want. It's up to you. So it's on the next slide. So here it is. So you're going to choose as many as you want, and you're going to read through it, and you're going to write an explanation about why this person is successful. some of them are harder than others, but there's all of these people are successful in their own way. So you can you can pretend that you're this person and then say why you were successful. So take as much time as you need, and then you can come back to the video. All right, so I hope you were able to understand it and write some answers about why you're successful. So I'll go through one of them. Let's look at the one miss adversity on the top right-hand corner, and I'll read it out loud. You are a single mother of 2 children. One of your children is hyperactive and the other has Down syndrome. So what does that mean? Both of your children, one of your children, your first child has too much energy. He or she is always crazy, always like too much coffee, like acting like running around, doesn't stop. The second child has Down syndrome, so he or she needs a lot of attention, a lot of care, and you always have to be taking care of them. You sleep very little, you have no time for yourself, and you have no friends, simply because they have all moved away and left you. You have no time to make new friends, your income is very low, and you have cut back on your personal pleasures to provide for your family. But you think you are successful. Why? Okay, so I think this is the hardest one to answer out of all of them. This person, Miss Adversity, she has a lot of issues in her life. She has no time. She's so busy, and maybe it looks like she might be lonely, and she never has time to have fun, and she never even has time to sleep. But why does she still think she's successful? Do you think she's successful? In my opinion, I think she is successful. Why? I would say because she has been given a pretty hard test to deal with in this life, right? She has 2 children, and both children need a lot of attention, but she is successful in taking care of her family, even though it might be pretty hard at times. So I think that someone who's given very little to work with, but still is able to deal with really hard situations like this, especially as a mother, which is probably the hardest job you could have and the most important job you could have. Someone like this is still able to deal with all of this pressure to take care of her family. I think that's a pretty good example of success. Even without money, without all of like big houses, without all of this stuff, I think this person is really successful. So what about you? Do you think she's successful? All right, so now let's look at the next topic. What is fame? What does it mean to be famous? And why are some people famous? So I want you to take a minute and think to yourself about these questions, the answers to these questions. For you, what does it mean to be famous? And why are some people famous in our society? You can make a list and say what reasons some people can be famous. And I'll give you an example. Someone could be famous because they are really talented. They are a really talented musician. They are really good at singing. So now I want you to make a list about other things. Why could some people be famous? And then we'll come back and go over some reasons. All right, so welcome back. I hope you made a list with some reasons. Now let's take a look. So here's a list of some reasons that I made people could be famous. So see if you have any of the same reasons as me. singer, musician, politician, scientist, actor, actress, social media influencer, YouTuber, streamer, inventor, hero, writer, professional sportsman or athlete, or royalty like a king or a queen or a prince or princess. So do you have any of the same things that I wrote, or do you have something different? And also, take a look at the picture. This is the Hollywood Walk of Fame in California, Hollywood, California. Maybe you've seen it, but in California, there's a street that has all of these stars on the ground, and it has different famous people's names on it. And you can see there's different pictures like camera, TV, microphone, radio, and some like masks from a play. So it's all people who are famous for like being actors or singers, or like sportsmen or like radio hosts, that kind of stuff. So if you're interested, you can go Google Hollywood Walk of Fame and see all the different famous people who have their names on the ground there. All right, so now let's have some questions about fame. So who are some famous people you know? You can take a look at this picture. See if you know anybody in this picture. These are all famous people. Some of them are sports players. Some of them are politicians. Some of them are activists or businessmen or religious leaders, or also some singers. So do you know anyone in this picture? And who are some of the most famous people that you know? All right, and now the next question. Do you think it is good to be famous? And what are the pros and cons of such a life? So you can pause the video and maybe make a list. Why would it be good to be famous? And also, why would it be bad to be famous? Okay, so next question. Who are your favorite famous people and why? So you can pause the video and come back when you're ready. Alright, now the next question. Alright, think about this situation. Maybe you are a parent. You have your own children. Which famous people would you want to inspire your child? So that's an interesting question. If you have your own kids, who do you want your kids to look up to? Who do you want? Which famous people would you like your child to be inspired by? So you can think about that. Think about that for a minute. All right. And the next question. Are there any famous people who are famous but untalented? And if so, why are they famous? I think we all know about some people who are famous, but we don't really understand why they are famous. Maybe there's an actor who you don't like and you think they're really untalented. So try to think of somebody and explain why are they famous but also untalented. All right, and the last questions. Have you ever met anybody famous? And who was it? Also, which famous person would you like to meet? You can choose anybody. They can be dead or alive. And if you met them, what would you say to them? What would you want to do with them? Alright, thanks for watching everybody. I hope you enjoyed this conversation. And I'll see you next time.